invite Lena back on. She got a chance to hop back on, and she's going to talk a little bit about where this apprenticeship all began.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My apologies. I got a phone call in the middle and I have to take it. And essentially, it's my big boss, so I couldn't say no. But thank you. I'm able to join again. So I wanted to share a little bit about apprenticeship and how did this all came about. So the big initiative for the governor in California is to essentially have 500,000 apprenticeship register for the state of California. And that came about, the reason why is California and the government working with the chancellor office realized that our students are better, like Greg explained in his presentation, the idea that if the student can learn input project, but also be able to get a pay on earning or some sort of stipend, something that combine the monetary with the work and the experience, then that would make the student definitely more marketable in the workplace, right? However, the traditional apprenticeship requires that an individual has to belong to a union. Essentially, you have to pay a fee in order to be part of the apprenticeship. Right now, we have a traditional apprenticeship that would, that you do have fee, and Christian will cover more. So what happened, if you do that, it's so hard to scale. You can't have 500 registered apprenticeship. So our program fall under what we call innovative apprenticeship. That means the idea is traditional apprenticeship, at the end, there's employment. Here, it's the potential for you to have an employment, but not necessarily that you are hired. However, you will get the work experience. And also it is an area, and I'm very proud to say our team is the first one that got approved for an apprenticeship that is computer programming. Usually it's construction, iron worker. So for us to move into the CIS base, that is a new territory, and we're very excited. But along with that, there's also changes as well, because usually apprenticeship, you tend to stay with one employer, and after that, you will be hired by the employer. So right now, for example, we're also working with Google for an IT apprenticeship. And out of that group, Google will place certain student in their cohort. For the Technest, the richness is that we're going to work with Greg and his institution, the Microfracture Institute, and we're going to place you in not just one employer, multiple employers. So it's more of the content, and you're able to move around, so you get an idea of the different discipline as well as experience. So that is what they call an innovative apprenticeship, where you mix a little bit traditional, a little bit that is adaptable, and what makes sense in Silicon Valley, and also what makes sense in the program at San Jose City College. So that's what I wanted to just understand, why this program has really moved into different phases, where you have a certificate, you can have an AA or AS with a transfer 4-year, or you have the apprenticeship. And the beauty of Technest, I always share with everybody, is that you will be able to get on the path and get off the path. And our idea is there is an employment opportunity at all those junctions. If you decided that, okay, I'm take the 4 course, I got the apply, I went out, applied, got my job, or there's an opportunity, I'm going to do the apprenticeship. Now this one is unique because I think Christian will share with you more. There's certain profile we're looking for, certain classes that you fulfill, and that's the reason why it's a little bit different than your traditional apprenticeship, and how we are innovating in the sense that it's an innovative. And that's really, I wanted to set up the stage so that Christian, who actually oversee, got us the grant for to launch this innovative apprenticeship, and he will share with you additional information of how this rollout will take place. So I will stop there and let Christian share about the details of the Technest apprenticeship. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Let's see if this can get going. Okay, so All right, there we go. So Greg did a fantastic job of explaining the microfacturing institutes and kind of that employer component and how they're able to match you with employers through their website. So what we can do on our end with San Jose City College is we provide the Technest courses for you to take and kind of build up that foundation so that you can make that transition to employment. And what we have to offer in terms of City College is we have that support system and that network through counselors and employment specialists and resume help that was mentioned earlier. But what we also have is we have an apprenticeship structure that's registered with the state of California. And what that enables us to do is, on top of taking the CIS courses, Python coding, data science, Internet of Things, and then also the business entrepreneurship class that's a part of Technest, you'll also be a registered apprentice with the state of California. And upon completion of the whole program, which includes courses and on-the-job training or work experience, you'll receive a certificate from the state of California recognizing your accomplishment. Another thing that's great about being a registered apprenticeship is once you're in the Technest apprenticeship program, your tuition will be covered as you progress through the courses. As VP Tran mentioned earlier, the state of California has taken a really ambitious and been at the forefront of building up apprenticeships in the state, and it's something that they support very much. So what I would encourage you to do, if this is something you're interested in, to go ahead and contact me, and I'll have my contact information on the next slide. Also be aware of Microfacturing Institutes and the website that Greg mentioned earlier. If you've taken one course or you've already taken a course within the Technest program, you are eligible to begin the Technest apprenticeship. And if you haven't taken any, we'd love to get you started and recruit you into our first cohort of students. And the entire apprenticeship is scheduled to last about 1 year. It would be about 2,000 hours of on-the-job training. And this is something new and innovative because in the state of California, it is the first computer programming apprenticeship that relates to this specific industry. Does anyone have any questions?
Christian, there were questions about pay.
Okay,
Right.
so the pay is going to vary depending on the employer, but the one thing that's really good about apprenticeships is there is a base pay, and then there is an increase in pay at some point as you progress through the apprenticeship. So I can give you a really good general ballpark number. It's probably expect about $20 an hour would be realistic, and then it would increase as you progress through the employer. Keep in mind that it will vary with the employer because we are working with multiple employers in the area. If you have any questions and you wanted to go ahead and get signed up in our first cohort of apprentices, my contact info's up here on the screen. Feel free to contact me anytime. And we're going to be beginning this fall semester, beginning at the end of August, with our first cohort of students.